Hey everyone, this is Ms. Grabowski, and this is lesson 3 in Unit 2, and we're going to be learning about multiple transformations. So we've already learned about translations, dilations, reflections, and rotations, and now we're going to put two of those together. So I'm going to go to the next slide and give a little bit of a refresher, and then we will go through two examples. Thanks!
So we have already seen this on our notes pages in the previous two lessons, but I just wanted to give it to you guys as a refresher that we have transformations and we have 4 different transformations. The first one that we learned was translation, which moves it up, down, left, or right. The next one we learned about was dilation, where it shrinks or enlarges in the figure. Reflection was where it reflects over a line that we're given. And then rotation, we rotate it either 90 degrees, 180 degrees, or 270 degrees. So we're gonna put two of those together. So I'm gonna go to the next slide and we will do an example. So for this one, we look and it says the first thing to do is translate triangle ABC, and it'll be x plus 5 and y plus 1. So step 1 is translate the triangle. So I'm gonna first, I will plot the points. So I know that it says x plus 5. So I'm gonna go right 5 for each point. And then I'm gonna go up 1. So I'm gonna go and plot, I'll do an example point. I'll do C, and I will do right 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then up 1, up 1. So that's gonna be C prime. So we'll label this first. When we translate it, we're gonna label it C prime, and then we will label our next one C double prime. So I'm gonna go ahead and plot these points. Now the second thing I'm gonna do is, it says then reflect over the x-axis. So the second step will be reflect, and first I'm gonna identify the x-axis, which I know is this line right here. And so I'm gonna look, and it looks like A prime and C prime are on the x-axis, so they're 0 units away. So they're gonna stay there. And then I see that B prime is 1, 2, 3 units away from the x-axis. So on the other side, I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3 units. And that's gonna be B double prime, because that's our second image. And so I can change A to A double prime and C double prime. So then I can connect these points. And that's how we first step, we translated the image by following the rule. And then the second step is we reflected that image over the x-axis to find triangle A double prime, B double prime, C double prime. Okay, so we saw an example where we translated and reflected an image. And so for this one, we are going to rotate square EFGH, which is drawn right here, 180 degrees clockwise about the origin. Then dilate the square with scale factor k equals 2. So the first step is going to be rotate 180 degrees counterclockwise about the origin. And so the rule for that would, if you look back into your notes, we change x comma y, and it goes to negative x, negative y. So I'm going to rewrite all these points and then rewrite them. So here are the points of square EFGH, and I'm going to rewrite them following the rule negative x, negative y. So these are going to be the new coordinate points of EFGH. When we rotate it 180 degrees, I took the opposite of x and y to create those new points, and so now I will graph them. Okay, so this is our new figure, E prime, F prime, G prime, H prime. And so the second thing that we're going to do is we are going to dilate the square with the scale factor k equals 2. So now I'm going to rewrite the points for I'm going to use the points for our second image, E prime, F prime, G prime, H prime, and I'm going to write those, and that's how we're going to dilate. Okay, so now that I have the points written out, I am going to multiply, since K equals 2, I'm going to multiply each point by 2. So I'll demonstrate the first point. So we have -3, and I'm going to multiply that by 2 to get -6. And then we have -1 times 2, which is -2. And then I'll do those for the rest of the points. Now that I have the points written out, I am going to go ahead and graph our new figure onto the graph. So now that I have plotted those points, I have my new square, which is E double prime, F double prime, G double prime, H double prime, and we can see that it's 2 times bigger than the square that we had before that. So through this, first we did the first transformation that it asked, which was rotate, and we rotated 180 degrees counterclockwise, and then we dilated it by a scale factor of 2. So we multiplied each point by 2 to get E prime, E double prime, F double prime, G double prime, H double prime. And we just use those primes and then double primes to distinguish that we have 2 different figures. So we do the first transformation and then the second transformation from that. If you have questions, join a live session or Canvas message your teachers. Thanks.